So I train at a commercial gym. I've trained at private gyms for the majority of my powerlifting journey. But most recently I've been at a commercial gym for the past couple of years. And it helps me see things a little differently. Now, in my opinion, when you go to the gym, you go there for a purpose. I go there because I want to be a better power lifter. So to be a better power lifter, I have to go strength train. So I go to the gym to strength train. And in my mind, I'm hardwired that that's why you go to the gym. You go to the gym to do something. But there's going to be people at public gyms, commercial gyms of all walks of life and dedication. There's people from, like myself, who are super dedicated to a particular sport, who are there for one reason and one reason only. And then it just kind of trickles down to people who are there because, they like to train for something, but they're not really serious about it. And then there's people who just do it as a hobby. And there's also people who just like to socialize. They have an excuse to go out and see their friends and talk to them and maybe get a little bit of exercise in with it. The problem with that, I find, is that you will get people in these different sects or level of discipline and commitment that want to get the things that the people who are at the highest level of commitment have. There's people who will say they want this, they want that, they want a 1,000-pound squat, they want to be the best hockey player on their team, or whatever. They just want to accomplish things that people at the top level of their sport accomplish. But the amount of work and effort that they put out does not reflect their wants or desires. And I get into a bad habit of thinking that those people are lazy, they're unwilling to work, and they're just unwilling to do the things necessary to get the goals that they always talk about. This isn't the case necessarily. I mean, it's the case in a lot of these people, but sometimes I got to realize that maybe they just don't see the disconnect between the level that they want to achieve and the level that they are willing to put forward. And I work better with analogies, to be honest. I feel like I tell people, at least one person every single day, that if they want to accomplish this, it requires this. If they want to have an 800-pound bench, they have to train bench very hard. They need to be dedicated to it, single-minded in purpose. I feel like on a daily basis I tell at least one person that, and I feel like it falls on deaf ears, and I generally think it's because the person's lazy. But, as I'm slowly starting to see things differently, maybe they just don't understand. And I've been wanting to make this analogy about a recipe and a program for a long time, but I didn't quite know how to get it out of my head to where it sounded as good spoken as it did in my brain. Because some people think that if they find the right program, if they just find the right program, that's going to give them the results that they want. They're not going to change their level of effort, but they feel like for some reason, if they just find that perfect program, then that's what's going to take them to the next level. How many recipes are there for a chocolate chip cookie? You know what I mean? And how many of those recipes all taste fucking delicious, regardless of how they're made, the ingredients? That being said, there's more than one way to make a cookie. So a part of finding the right program for you is finding something that is compatible with you to where you can still work hard. There's not just one program that beats all. There's not one recipe that gives you a chocolate chip cookie. But within that, the quality of the end product all goes in with the process. So you can have your one person who's just a hobby lifter or like a social lifter, or just someone who comes to the gym and just likes to hang out and see his friends, his or her friends. They're the person that's going to get the recipe. They're going to look at all the ingredients necessary to get that. They're going to buy them, they're going to set them on their counter, and then they're going to leave. 10, 15, 20 minutes come by, they come back, and they don't see any cookies. And they just cannot comprehend why there are not cookies there. It's like, I bought everything I need. Everything I need is right there. How come I don't have any cookies? The next group of people up, they're the ones that are going to get their recipe, they're going to get their ingredients, they're going to set them out, but they're not going to follow the directions to a T. You know, they're not going to pay attention to what they're doing. They're not going to put the love or the sensibility into what they're doing. You know, they may start, you know, boiling water for whatever it is on the recipe. They might start cooking or browning meat, but they'll be looking at their phone, they'll get lost in a trance, and, you know, 5-10 minutes go by and the smoke alarm's going off and their meat's burning. Or it says you are supposed to whisk something until it's light and fluffy, but they'll just give it a quick few stirs to where it's not solid liquid, and then they'll call it that. And then when it comes time to reap the benefits of the work, the program, the recipe, the results are just not what they expected. And they're like, I got the program, I got the recipe, I got the right ingredients, I followed the directions. It might have said to whisk, but I stirred. You know, it might have said to brown the meat and I burned it, you know. But I did everything that was on my recipe. I did everything that was on my program. But the end result is not favorable, and I don't understand why. And then you have the next level of people who will not only buy the ingredients, but they will buy the best quality, maybe the more expensive ingredients to have the best product possible.
With an encouraging.
When it comes to directions, if it says whisk for 3 minutes and 27 seconds, they are whisking that for 3 minutes and 27 seconds. If it says 2 cups, they will put exactly 2 cups. If it says cook until brown, they will stare at that thing for 10 minutes waiting for it to look brown. These are the people who are at the top of whatever sport that you want to accomplish. Those are the people who are at the top. They put the most amount of thought, care, focus, effort, discipline into that cookie, that program. And I would bet my paycheck that you can take that person, put them on any program, and they will get better. Now, I do believe that there are specific programs tailored towards people that benefit what they like or are better equipped to do, and that's when you get the even better end product. But you give a driven, disciplined person with goals in mind any program and they will get better on it. So if you are someone who has goals and you have been trying to attain those goals but you have not made progress, and I'm talking, you know, not just a couple months, I'm talking like years, 4, 5, 6 years, maybe you need to evaluate the level of goal that you have in regards to the level of effort you are going to put forward. You are only going to get what you put in. The world is 50-50 with everything else. You have to bleed before you succeed. You have to do work before you are ever rewarded for it. And I feel like the social media society has made everybody eager for those immediate gains, those immediate gratifications. And people have forgotten that you need to struggle before you can ever become good at something. You need to be good at something before you can become good at something, before you'll ever get recognized for it. So I hope that the recipe analogy helps you, because it helped me. Because before, I would just walk around the gym all day long, pissed at everybody I saw because they weren't living up to my standards, even though their goals weren't my goals. So I hope that analogy helps you to realize that maybe if you want certain things, you need to evaluate the level of effort you're willing to put into that is required to get those things. And hopefully you will find a way to either break through and get those things, or just relax a little bit, enjoy what you're doing, and accept the fact that you're not going to get those things, but you'd rather just be happy and comfortable and enjoy, which is, there's nothing wrong with that either. So I hope that helps.